Respectfully, guys, can I keep it open, please?
Feel good. Feel good everything.
All right, let's go.
Oh man, so I put out a video saying that this is going to be the toughest day in the trial for Tory Lanez when it comes to his defense. There was a lot of evidence that was allowed by the judge to be shown, but the defense stood their ground and ended up coming out on top at the end of this day. Let me tell you guys what went down. One of the main things for today was that, listen, they played that 80-minute tape of Kelsey giving her testimony back on September 22nd. Kelsey disavowed that entire thing, so I told y'all it was going to be on based on the jury whether or not they want to believe it or not, because she's already exposed herself to not be that credible, and she said that she lied to protect herself. But based on that interview and several other evidence, it's based on the jury to figure out whether they want to believe whether she's lying today on the 22nd. The jury has that to go ahead and figure out. People's asked the LA Times crime journalist James Qualley about whether or not the tape will be used as evidence, and he says yes, it's now evidence of a prior inconsistent statement under California law. So it's an evidence, but the jury has to basically figure out what they want to do with that situation. But someone asked them, so how would anybody know what part she's lied about, which part she told the truth about? And he said that's why it's called reasonable doubt. There's no certainty. This conflicting narrative is good for the prosecution at all. So even though the prosecution did play that tape, it still doesn't help them fully because it's not the full truth. But it depends on how everything else played into the factor as far as whether the jury would buy it or not. Now, yesterday there was discussion about an Instagram post with Tory commenting under someone else's comment saying that Kelsey was the shooter, and Tory's Instagram account says that's not true. It seemed like the judge is doing his best to help the prosecution. I'm trying to keep it G with y'all, because the judge allowed that as evidence, but the defense quickly shut that down because they brought in the idea that several different people could possibly run Tory's account, and there's no way to prove that he was the one that posted that comment. It even became a laughing matter in court, but let's get to the slam dunk from the defense today. So just by luck, to immediately come after that long 80-minute testimony, the defense got a big break because they was able to call their first expert witness to the stand because of a scheduling conflict, and that was a DNA expert, Mark Taylor. So the prosecution isn't done making their case, but the defense was allowed to bring their DNA expert in today, and the DNA expert testified that Tory's DNA was not found on the firearm. However, they did find a woman's DNA on the gun. Very, very interesting. And also, Kelsey was not tested for her DNA. Her DNA was not tested. Interesting. Now that was in contrast to the prosecutor's DNA expert who testified earlier that Tory's DNA was inconclusive. The defense witness has conducted over 3,500 DNA tests, while prosecutor's expert has done barely half that many DNA tests. It's looking more and more like the defense is proving their case, and they even haven't gotten a chance to really push it yet. But their stuff is checking out. Everything they're saying is checking out. The prosecution, they're having a lot of holes in their story, and they did a Hail Mary today. Today was the Hail Mary. It was the last thing that they could do. They have a couple of more things that they're about to say, I guess next week, to go ahead and just, forensic things as far as whether or not she got shot or not. We already know that shit. But this right here, whew. The defense did a great job, and they got some help with this person not being available for next week, and they was able to come directly after on the same day that, the jurors heard that long testimony. So they immediately got whatever they heard flushed out their mind, I'm sure, by seeing that Tory's DNA was not on the gun, but a woman's DNA was, and Kelsey wasn't tested. That's crazy. That's a bombshell. Let me know what y'all think about all this. And I see some people was kind of like upset with me calling like it is. Listen, I'm giving y'all the story as I get it. People wondering why did I say this is going to be the toughest day for Tory. It was the toughest day, and they was able to overcome it. I'm just telling a damn story, man. Being a little dramatic, bro. Let me do my damn job over here. I'm trying to entertain y'all while at the same time giving y'all facts. Y'all already was in the comment section switching up on me, dog. Y'all crazy. And also, I purposely showed y'all non-biased reports from some people that even made me kind of Meg leaning. So when I come back and give y'all facts in response to those reports, even with some people that are Meg leaning too, there's no way the people could say that what I'm reporting is biased, alright? So it was all a chess move, man. Damn. Like, stay the course over here, you feel me? Let me do my thing. I got y'all. Like, Pete, these are some biased, or I will say Meg-leaning folks right here. This is Megan Cuniff. She says, we are done for the day after hearing from DNA experts who say Tory's DNA was not on the gun magazine and it can't be concluded as DNA wasn't on the gun, but it can't be said that it was either. So they're reporting a little different from Mr. Dennis Byron, but Mr. Dennis Byron, he's been flip-flopping back and forth. But Nancy Dillon, this person repeats the same thing. The main point from DNA expert was that while he can't conclude that Tory's DNA isn't on the gun, he would expect a clear DNA profile if he did pick up the gun and fired 5 times. Even though today's obstacles for Tory wasn't that hard to overcome, which they did, it was harder than the other days before, man. With the judge giving the prosecution all the extra chances and leeway to continue to try to prove their case, they still failed. But that's what I was referring to as far as today being the toughest day. If someone bench pressed a 45-pound bar yesterday and then today they put 10 pounds on the bar, adding a little more weight, it's tougher than yesterday, right? Alright then, let me do my damn job, man. I'm still delivering the facts throughout it, but you know, gotta have theatricals in this bullshit, man. It's your boy Stacy, I'm out.